Hey, what's up, guys? And welcome back to another Real Madrid review. Espanyol 1, Real Madrid nil. It is an absolute joke, to be honest. Just a really crap result after what should have been, really, at least a point. And before we get into this sort of people and rival fans saying that Real Madrid shouldn't be complaining because they are the team that pay referees. First of all, there isn't any evidence that suggests that. And second of all, there is evidence that suggests that the referees are actually, most of them, pretty much against Real Madrid. Because I think that as a neutral, if you watch that game, you would think, how, how was the game allowed to go on with no actions taken against some of the decisions, and the decisions made were pretty much all in favor for Espanyol. Now, this is nothing got to do with Espanyol. I don't think that Espanyol are a club that are paying referees, and I'm not going to falsely accuse without evidence that they are that sort of team. But they got the win. They were the beneficials of um today. They got the 3 points, which is good for them. But Real Madrid have lost 3 points, have lost 2 points. Even a draw would have been better. And overall, it was just pretty poor. Now, put aside the decisions that were made on the pitch and off the pitch, of course, during the game. The the game itself was dominant from one side. Real Madrid were dominant, just not clinical again. It's the same problem that we faced a couple of weeks, months ago. Recently, we've been scoring 3, 4, 5 goals a game. But if you watch how Espanyol played, they were only going to play one way. Now, there's nothing against teams playing defensive football because they are trying to survive. They're trying to not get relegated. They're trying to pick up points. They can't go all out attacking because they'll leave themselves exposed. They will leave themselves obviously exposed and counter-attacked on, and obviously in a vulnerable situation. So I get that, right? I get that you have to protect yourselves when you're at home. You're playing against the league leaders. You need to protect yourselves. But it is Real Madrid's job, the players' job, to be able to deal with these sort of teams, playing the low blocks, playing the defensive footballs, playing against teams with 9 men in the box. It does not matter. You have to deal with it. And did we see these players do anything? Yes. 21 shots, 7 on target, but 0 goals is the moral of the story. No one will look at 21 shots, 7 on target. People will look at 0 goals. Espanyol had 5 shots, 2 on target, 1 goal. That is embarrassing, that is atrocious, and that is, I don't really know what to, explain it as, but that should not be happening. Now, look, Real Madrid are going to play Atletico Madrid in the next game in La Liga, with a Copa del Rey game in between against Leganes, and then afterwards playing against Manchester City. Now, Manchester City have been absolutely humiliated by Arsenal this past weekend. And guess what? I'm not fearful of Manchester City destroying this team because I think that if we play a game, Real Madrid win. And I'm not saying this as overconfident or arrogant. I'm just saying that if you watched how Man City played against Arsenal with most of their players back, apart from a couple and obviously Rodri. But even with the new signings in, even with some players back, they were atrocious in that 45 minutes in the second half. But I'm just worried that this team will do things that will affect the performance and the result eventually. And a couple of factors, right? Too many shots on target and no goals. I think that there is this problem of not being clinical, not taking the chances, and it will come back to bite you like it did. And almost sort of being too comfortable in the game. You are 0-0, and the players seem very comfortable. The players seem, okay, let's wait a little bit, and then maybe we'll get a goal. Now, usually, if Real Madrid are playing a game and it's 0-0, and Real Madrid don't score by halftime, the game pretty much goes one way, which is the opponent wins. Because they've been able to hold on for 45 minutes, and they can do the same for the next 45. And I'm not saying that, Man City will play the way Espanyol played. But I'm just saying, we might have more opportunities than City. We might dominate Man City for once. We might. But if you watched how Arsenal played against Man City, they were clinical with the chances they had. In the second half, obviously Thomas Partey, I think Louis Skelly, Nwaneri, Havertz. You look at their chances against Man City. Those were probably not. They probably didn't have like 20 shots, but they had 4 shots there, and they scored 4 goals. Now they missed a couple, but they scored to make it up. With this team right now, I don't get that kind of feeling. But obviously, let's talk about the game. Espanyol with the goal. Cross comes in. No one was dealing with Romero. And you get a simple finish. Nothing Courtois could have done about that. To be honest, the defender in front of him should have done better as well. Not a lot, like I said, Courtois could have done. Could have done slightly better, I suppose, but not down to him. But look, right now, with this team, I don't get that confidence that this team will go far in the Champions League. And it's not about Mbappe. It's not about, imbalance in the team. In the attack, the team is playing really well, but defensively, it's been shambles. Rudiger is now injured. That's great, isn't it? David Alaba is still injury prone, pretty much. We've got Lucas Vazquez at right back. We've got a manager who is not willing to start Raul Asensio and prefers Tchouaméni. And now that Rudiger's out, he's probably going to go Tchouaméni and Ferland Mendy, isn't he? I would not be surprised. And that will eventually lead to this team just not performing. Now, I'm not saying that Raul Asensio alone would solve all the problems. But I'm saying by playing Tchouaméni there, you're not solving the problems either. You're creating more problems because you're taking him away from his best position and you're chucking him behind. Because you want to play Fede Valverde, Bellingham, and probably Ceballos in the midfield. That's great. That's great. But Tchouaméni should not be forced into the starting 11 at centre back because he can't get into midfield. Either you play him in the midfield with Valverde and Bellingham, or you bench him. Simple. Simple. Why must we force Tchouaméni at centre back despite him being able to play there as a backup, as an emergency plan? You have Raul Asensio right there, who is a player who has come through in the last 3 to 4 months, who has shown that he has got the leadership, the ability, the pace. He's not a player who is, incapable. He's not one of those players who comes in for a game and disappears forever. He's a player who will be staying in the first team with whoever comes in next after Ancelotti, of course. He's a young player who I think is 21, isn't he? Who has got a bright future ahead of him, who just needs to get more game time to develop. Now, if he makes mistakes, the fans will be willing to forgive. The fans will not be going in hard on Raul Asensio. But if you're forcing Tchouaméni at centre-back and he makes a mistake, the fans will go in at Tchouaméni, not because he's a shit player, not because of any other reasons, apart from the fact that he's not a centre-back. And you have a centre-back. There is no excuse. If Raul Asensio was not in this picture frame, cool, Tchouaméni. But Raul Asensio is in this picture frame, and you have decided that you are going to start Tchouaméni. Regardless of who you're playing and whatever, you have decided Tchouaméni is the best centre-back option. Then you're setting yourself up for failure. Not because Tchouaméni will purposely make the manager fail or anything like that. I'm not suggesting that. I'm not saying that Tchouaméni is shit, like I said. I'm not saying that he'll purposely make the manager fail. I'm just saying it is not his best position. It doesn't matter. If you play Kylian Mbappe in goal, he can try his absolute best to play there. He can make 5 saves. But if he concedes 1 goal and you lose, it's still a mistake. He can be prime Neuer for a couple of minutes. He can kick the ball to the other side of the pitch and get an assist every single time. But if he makes a mistake, then you have to take the responsibility because you're playing him out of position. Now, Tchouaméni from CDM to centre-back is not a big jump, but it is. Because the CDM's job is to protect the centre-backs. Basically, Tchouaméni is a protector for Raul Asensio, Rudiger, Alaba, Militao, for example. And you're saying to him, do the tough work. Yeah. But look, Espanyol fully deserved, not really fully deserved. I mean, overall, when you say fully deserved, I mean in terms of Real Madrid not being clinical. Yep, Espanyol deserved the win. But it's a robbed game in terms of Carlos Romero going from behind, calves on, it's a really, really high tackle on the calves. And it's been given as a yellow card for that. I think it's a joke. I really do. But like I said, you shouldn't be putting yourself in a position where you have 5 minutes to go, you have 20 shots, and you are 0-0 against Espanyol, who are one of the 3 teams in the league that are probably going to go down, or they're going to be in that zone. So it's a massive win for Espanyol, because they are now 17th and they are 2 points clear of Alaves, whom are 18th. But for Real Madrid, look, I do hope that Carlo Ancelotti, and it's a big ask because it's a hope, and I doubt that this will happen, but Raul Asensio has to start and start at centre back. And I think that's all we ask for as Real Madrid fans. To see Raul Asensio start would be just a dream. But yeah, let me know what thoughts are down below. Slightly sick, not feeling that well, but let me know what thoughts are down below. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Hit the most did, subscribe to show us on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.